Well, good afternoon and welcome to Eggs Orchids. We're just going to have a look around now to see where a bit of life is springing to on some plants. There's signs on a lot of plants that things are going to go well. So we're just going to have a look at them. Well, to begin with, we'll have a look at one of my favourite frags, the Cardinale Wilcox. Still got two flowers on there and more buds on the back of them. And this is doing very well. You can see new growth there and the new growth there coming up. Yeah, absolutely lovely. So that's doing really well. These are noted for spreading quite well. Fragmipedium Cardinale. Well, this is a frag that does quite well, cross between Cavachiite and Sargentianum, and that's looking absolutely beautiful. Just look at the new growth on this one. Coming up beautiful. There's three on this side and one round the back. This one is Fragmipedium Olaf Gross, and that's putting some nice new growth up. There you can see nice new growth there, and another two coming up there. And we'll go around the other side and there's another new growth coming up. Well, this is a Fragmipedium that's a real bugbear to me now. I just can't get it standing up, and it grows about 3 or 4 new growths every year. And these are the new ones. If I can get down a bit. This one here is standing up nice and straight. And there's another new growth coming up from the middle of the leaves here. You see that? There we are. An absolute bugbear to me. Get blooms on it every year. But nothing around this side, is there? No, but you can see how many growths it's got, this one. So I'm surprised that they get to a certain size and then this full, the leaves start just turning downwards. I don't know how to rectify that problem, but I think this is due for a repot as well. That might do it good. Was Fragmipedium Fritz Schomburg. This is one half of the plant that I split last year, and it's Paphiopedilum Lady Isabel. And it's just kicking off again now here, as you can see. New growth starting there, and a new growth coming up there. So that's very pleasing. This is the other half of the Lady Isabel, and this is just coming up with a new leaf there in the middle, and there's a new growth round the side. There we are. So I'm quite pleased with those two Paphiopedilums. Now this one is exactly a Goldiana, and doing absolutely nothing. It's been at the back of the greenhouse. I've just noticed now that, look, it's putting up a nice new growth. So that's wakening up. Seems that everything's just starting to waken up. What we could do with now is some nice warm weather and bright lights, which we're not getting at the moment. We're getting longer days, but the brightness isn't there. I mean, like today, we've only got 13 degrees, and it says it can stay like that till the end of the month. So that's not helping anybody trying to grow orchids in this part of the world. Now, if you remember, I got a Coelogene granulosa that needed splitting, and I split it up. I think it was into 3 or 4 pieces, and I'm pleased to say that they're just coming into life. There you can see a nice new growth coming on there. That's one of them. This is another one of them, and this has got two new growths coming up. You see one there, if it's in focus, and another there, right near the edges of the pot. So I'll have to look at this and repot it somewhere, so to give it plenty of room to grow properly. 1, 2, 3. This is another of the glanduloses, and that's also putting up a new growth. Well, they're doing quite well, these. Quite pleased with them. And this is another that I think it needs repotting, this, and splitting, because this is putting up a new growth there, but it's right next to the edge and no room to grow at all. So we'll have to sort two of those out. But all four are showing new growths. This is the Dendrobium nobile that I said I'd look after, but we started putting some new growths up, and they're doing very nicely. They've grown very, very well. You can see the new growths there. So I'm quite pleased with that one. Good fat canes on these, but it hasn't flowered for a couple of years. But I'm sure I'll get it to flower this coming winter. Dendrobium nobile. This is the McClellanara pagan love song that I've had for, well, since last August. Hasn't done anything, but I'm pleased to say something's happening around here. If I can see it. Yep, there we are. Something's happening down there. Looks like it's going to put up another bulb. So I'm pleased about that one. McClellanara pagan love song. Now this one is a Brasidium orange charm crossed by Oncidium megaglossum, and there's nothing to show on this, but I think it's just coming into life because it's just putting out some new roots down there. So that's another one that's showing signs of development. And this one is a Bialara Campbell's Glacier, and that's putting up a nice new growth here. So I'm quite pleased with them. The more you look at them, the more you see. And lately I've had a tendency just to keep my eyes on certain species and ignore the others. So it's nice when you come to these and you see some growth on them. Well, this is a Phalaenopsis Samira, or Samira, and I'm thinking of taking all these back into the house because at night time here it's dropping to 12 degrees and they hate that. They shouldn't drop below 18 or 19. But I'm pleased to say this one is putting up two new growths there. Two new flower spikes rather. One there and this one. Looks like snails being across there. But I've got all slug pellets in all the plants now, so I shouldn't be bothered with snails anymore. But I'm thinking of taking all my cattleyas back into the house, just to keep them around about 18, 19 during the evening. Well, I think we'll just finish this video off by splitting up this granulosa, this collagen, like I said, that needed doing. And they needed splitting the plant because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pseudobulbs on it in such a small pot. So we'll take this out. Better make sure I don't break the new growth. And I'm not sure this has got any roots because none of them had when I split it. No. Oh, they're not so bad. They're not so bad. But this can be split. Oh, I've just noticed, I'll get the camera. We'll just get the secateurs and split it there. There we are. And now I've got two nice plants each with a new growth on, and one with 4 pseudobulbs on and the other one with 3. So they should make nice plants now, so they need repotting. Well, I'm going to pot them up in some new bark here, some perlite that was very thankfully sent me from Florida, and some nice pieces of charcoal. Now then, there's a story about this charcoal that I don't know whether to go into it or not, but I'll tell you what happened to it. This is homemade charcoal. Now what happened was I had some bark which was very nice, but it was getting saturated and I didn't want to throw it away, so I thought, hello, look what we've got. So as I was saying, this bark, I didn't want to throw it away, so I thought, oh, I'll dry it off in the oven. So I put it in the oven at about 200 centigrade, which was far too high, and I forgot about it. Next time I went in the kitchen, I couldn't even see myself. It was absolutely thick black smoke, and bit of the wood was on fire, and anyhow I finished up with this charcoal, but I still can't get rid of the smell in the kitchen, and it's been there for at least a week. So I've got little smellies down and everything, trying to get rid of the smell. Anyhow, that's the story of the charcoal. Well, I've got some bigger pieces of bark here that I'm just going to put in the bottom of each pot, just to help the drainage. Don't want to put too much in, or else there'll be no room for anything else. Now we'll mix this together. Don't want that. I'll put that end right to the back. Then we've got the new growth virtually in the middle. Another piece. A bit fiddly this. A little bit fiddly, I'll come round here. I always find these plants with small roots a little bit difficult. I don't mean small, I mean the very thin roots. And I once heard on BBC, one keen gardener say, if an orchid has small roots, small, thin, fine roots, it wants watering a lot more often than the ones with quite large roots. Now, I don't know whether to believe that or not, but there's one label in that one's done. And this one hasn't got many roots on it at all, but it wants some more bark. Yeah, enough perlite and charcoal. This one will be a little bit more difficult to pot correctly. Where's the new growth on it? Oh, there. Now I can't get that into but it's got to be up against the side, I'm afraid, until I repot it again in a much bigger pot. Right, that was just a quick repot, and should do well. The new growth's down at this side. I was lucky in that other pot I had two labels. Well, there are the two divisions packed up of Coelogenated granulosa. They'll make quite big plants in future, hopefully. They're growing well, and they just want watering now. And I think I'll probably give them a little bit of fish blood and bone like I'm giving to the others, because fish blood and bone is a really, really good fertiliser. It contains everything. And that's all for now. I think we'll finish this video off by saying thank you very much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you haven't already subscribed, I would much appreciate it if you did so, because it does help this channel. And so thank you very much, and until I see you next time, bye.